Alright, so I've just got some brown plain lunch bags. I'm not advertising a brand or anything, but just normal ones you get from the supermarket. Right, what I'm going to do, take one. So let me just grab my tape measure. Alright, I'm just going to tell you how wide they are, because somebody will ask. So they're 8 inches wide by 10 inches long. So just a normal size lunch bag. And what I'm going to do is just roughly cut them into 3. Alright, now we're not measuring, we're just roughly cutting into 3. Like this. And we're going to keep doing that until, I don't know, you've got quite a few. Now, I would recommend that you have a sewing machine for this part, because I don't think sewing them by hand, I think it would just be too long-winded. So if you haven't got a sewing machine, this is probably not the project for you. As you can see, it's not hard. I've gone way over there. But that's okay, just bring it back. Alright, so you're getting the idea. Cut them into 3, just rough. Right, now we're going to take them to the sewing machine, and I use a zigzag stitch. And what I do is I'm bringing them together like this, so where it's got the opening there, sort of tuck your next one in under there like that. So you can see they're different widths. Doesn't matter, don't worry about that. We're going to cover it over. Alright, so let's go to the sewing machine now and do a little bit of stitching on that. Alright, so here I am at the sewing machine. I'm just going to take you down a little bit, and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So just remember, don't change the cotton on your sewing machine. You don't have to do anything like that. All it is just using whatever's in there. I've just got white on there at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use. So let's take you down, and I'll just show you how I sew these together. There. So we've just got our strips like this. You change your sewing machine to a zigzag, and you just simply put them together like that. So I'm just going to change it to a zigzag, and we just go across. So really simple. We don't want to make it harder than it is, and it's not hard at all to make this snippet roll. And they're so handy, you can use them for anything. So you don't have to double it up. All it is holding it together so that we can add fabric. Where's my scissors? I'll just use these ones here. Got my grandkids' scissors handy. And we just add the next one. So add the next one. So you want to turn it around so that it can slip inside. Just helps keep it together. Right? And so on. Alright, so what we're getting, those again. So it's just a big zigzag stitch. You can see it there. Alright, and what we're getting now is a line of these starting to form. Alright, so let me carry on, because you don't want to watch me stitching them all together. And then I'll show you the end product in 2 minutes, okay? Alright, here it is. So I use 7 lunch bags, and you can see they're not all level. It's just a base for you to work on. Alright, so you get the idea. Alright, so I'm going to roll it up. 7 lunch bags. Actually, I might measure it to see how long 7 lunch bags are. So let me just do that and I'll be right back. Wow, it was longer than I thought. So 4.7 meters, or 63 sixes, 180 plus 20, so, or 188 inches. So that's what you get from 7 lunch bags. All right, and yeah, right, next step. Now you can decorate it any way you like. If you've got loads of paper scraps left over, then use paper scraps. So I've got a drawer here just above my desk that I have all my paper scraps in. This little beauty here. So what you could do is you could throw this part off the end of your desk so that you just, as you work, you move back this way. All right, so let's do that. That goes down there. Let's move the tape measure out the way. And what you would do is you just start. So you would start with just random pieces of paper. You don't have to think about it too much, because if you think about it too much, you're looking for perfection, and that's not what we're looking for here. All right, so snippet rolls are so when you've got your journals and you maybe want a belly band or something like that, then you would get a bit of snippet roll and you can cut it and put it across your page. All right, so, you just start. I've got a bit of old tea bag here, so this could be added like this on here. I think I need a new glue stick. Yes, I do need a new glue stick, so I might go and grab that. Just do this one here, just so I can show you. And what you want to do is just overlap it a little bit with the one above. Now, if you wanted to, you can go and cut down the back of here so that it's still the same width, but I kind of like them a bit random. And you want to add the next part. So I'm going to do just about, 3 or 4 of these lengths, just so that I can show you. And if you overlap where the stitching is, see here, if you overlap that, then you're tying that in to the snippet roll, and it makes it stronger. Each thing you do makes it stronger. And you just grab little pieces of whatever. There might be little pieces of fabric that you want to add in, although I tend to keep the fabric and the paper apart, but let's put that there. Let's see what we think. That's just an old doily, so I cut it up and you can see it's sort of quite coloured, the doily, and that's because I rust dyed it. All right, so we're adding that there. And what we're starting to get is an eclectic look of papers, fabric, just all going together randomly. We're not thinking too much about it. This one here, out of my little drawer of goodies, I love this little drawer. It's wrapping paper, bits of fabric. Anyway, this one here was actually a wipe. So when I finished a project, I wiped down my desk, and then I saw that it had all colours on it, from the dyeing that I'd been doing. And I thought I can use that, in craft. So you can see it's sort of quite dyed. And yeah, you can cut off pieces of that and use it. It doesn't matter what you use. What's going to happen at the end of the snippet roll is you're going to have this really eclectic looking mix of different papers or fabric. And then so I'm just going to do like a length so that you can still see it on the camera. Otherwise it just gets out of hand and I'm going to have to film it on the floor or something. Don't want to have to do that. I just want to give you an idea of what you can do with items that you've got around the house. We say junk journaling and then all of a sudden we're buying, printables, and we're buying things in the craft shop, and it starts to get expensive, and you start to think, oh, I just don't know if I can afford to do this or whatever. Well, this is just brown paper bags and scraps of paper. Now, keep everything. If you get an Amazon parcel, or you get some packaging come through from a letter or anything, old book pages, you're going to maybe donate some books to the charity shop, pull some pages out of there and don't donate them, have them for yourself, and use them for this sort of a project. Because what you'll find is you'll get this sort of eclectic look of different papers, and yeah, you'll just really love it. And then when you've got a project, if you can pick out like just one colour in that project, like I recently did a dog journal, and of course it was all sort of browns and creams and stuff, and yeah, you just can sort of grab a bit of this and it will go with anything. All right, so let me go and grab another glue stick because I'm trying to glue with this and it's, I don't know if you can see that, but just about empty. All right, there we go, new glue stick. It's one of the blue ones, which I quite like because you can see where you've been and what you've been doing. Got this little bit of fabric here, just kind of jumped out before, so let's stick that right at the start. next to our flowers and stuff. And you know, with some fabric you might need to use a stronger glue. I'm just showing you what it's going to look like really basically. So let's, and don't worry about my old glue stick, I will fish out the last bit of the glue. Alright, so we've got, you see we've just got this sort of happening now, and there's not a lot of thought gone into it. We're just adding pieces as it's coming out. And if you like a particular colour, like this has turned red because I've added a little bit of Christmas wrapping paper. I've got a bit more red here, I might want to add that and keep going with red. It just depends, but I do like the randomness of just grabbing the next thing that sort of comes out. So this is some drawings that my grandchildren did, and I'm going to add some of that onto there. So we're just going to cut a little bit of that off. I don't know about you if you've got grandkids, but the paintings and drawings really mount up and you just can't keep everything. So I've started using some of it in my art, which is nice because then when I use it again, it reminds me of the day when we made it. I just filmed some of them yesterday, just doing some painting on this desk. It was so funny. They get really involved and trying to paint rainbows, and they're only 5 and 7, but it's just lovely to see them wanting to do something, you know. All right, here's the next bit. So see, we've got our overlap here where we did our stitching. So we want to put something over that to help tie it in. All right, so you can use anything, and see, you know, you might think, oh, well, I might never use a children's, you know, drawn picture for my art. Well, you might not, but then you might grab something like this, which is just a bit of paint on a dictionary page, and you might double it over like something like that, or get a straight edge and go from here. And then these colours sort of start to take on more interest. I really like it. It's very random, and it's something you can do if you're a little bit stressed. It helps you to focus your mind and stop thinking about your worries and just sort of make something. All right, let's have a look. See, like here, I've got a little bit of leaf. Can you see that? That was left over from another project, so you could add that in if you wanted to. I'm just trying to find different pieces just to give you an idea of what I mean. Whoops, a few of them flung out there. I want that there, maybe. So you start to get a little bit of a theme going on because I've got the green here now. I might add some bugs. Let's add some bugs to their pictures. All right, and we're down to the second join. So that's basically where I'm going to go to. So now I'm going to show you the next step I do. Let's add their little bugs. The next step I do is stamping. So let me get my stamps, and I'll move the drawer out the way, and I'll show you the next step I do in my snippet roll. All right, be right back. Okay, so I've chosen a whole load of stamps. Now, I double side my stamps onto the blocks, onto the acrylic blocks. So I've got, say, like a flower that side, and I've got 3 smaller ones that side, because otherwise the backs of the blocks are not getting used. There's a little chicken or a bird or something, some flowers. So yeah, I just find that handy for me to do. And there's music there, and I think that's a postage stamp. I'm quite liking this one lately. It sort of looks like stitching when it's done. And this one I really like too. I used it with some gold on another project. More flowers, a little butterfly, more postage. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to bring the snippet roll up onto the table again from the floor, just so that it's here and I can unwind it as I go. And I'll probably carry on after I finish this video so that I'll finish it off. All right, so hopefully all of that is in camera now. Move these back. All right, I'm going to get some ink pads. Okay, there you go. I've chosen some ink pads. Saltwater Taffy, Tim Holtz, Uncharted Mariner, of course. I love that colour. Versifying Black. This is really good. It doesn't smudge or anything. It just straight away it's set. I love this new one. It's an archival Galaxy Gold. And I've got a Stays On, which is just from Spotlight in Australia, olive green. So that kind of goes with what I'm doing here. In fact, probably the green the gold and the black will be better. There's a little bit of blue there. There's not a lot of pink. So anyway, let's get started, and I'll just show you what I do just to add a little bit more depth into what I'm doing. So, yep, you can just about see the full page there. So I've just pulled you back a little bit. All right, so let's just get started with a stamp. Let's start with a flower one, and maybe we'll do a black to start with. So I usually lay the stamp down and do the ink. There's a little butterfly there as well. And, you know, with this too, it doesn't matter if your stamping is not perfect, don't worry. The whole thing's not perfect. It's just a snippet roll. It's so that you can chop bits off and add it to your art as you're going along. All right, so let's add this here over the top of the kid stuff. I think it'll be quite good there. There we go. And maybe just add a little bit more here just to use the ink up. There. So that's that one. Let's try a little bit of green. I quite like this. It's called olive green. Let's pick another flower, I guess. We can maybe make that up here. You still see me, yep. Especially on the green there. I love that, how that tea bag turned out. Turned out really well. There we go. Look at that. Alright, so you get the idea. Use up the ink over here. On the end of there. So that's that one. It's a bit of green. Now with the blue, I might use this one here. I really like how this is, and I think it will look really nice there. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of interest there, doesn't it? And there's a little bit of blue down here, so maybe I'll add a little bit more down here. Alright, so you're getting the idea. What you're doing is tying it in, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just keep going as you go down the snippet roll. Just keep adding and adding and adding. Now, what's the next step? Right, so you can have, I've got this gorgeous little folder that I bought, and inside I've got all of my stickers. Well, the ones that I've bought anyway. So what you can do is now file through here. So let's just choose a green sticker, and let's see what I've got. Oh look, I've got a butterfly. So we could have a butterfly on there. Let's see what else I've got. I've got a rose. We could stick a rose on there. There's some harder ones, which I don't know if I'll put those on because they're sort of made of a cardboard and it won't let the snippet roll fold too good. All right, and we've got, there's another butterfly or there's another flower. So let's take the other flower for now. But you know, you can choose whatever you like. Just pop those over there. All right, so let's get these off and put them onto the snippet roll as well. You can see what I've done there. I've added the sticker here and here and here. All right, so it's starting to look like sort of like a little piece of art, you know. I've got another little stamp here, these, and let's go here. And you don't think too much about it, you just randomly stamp, because you think when you cut it off it's going to be random. It's not, they're not all going to be in the one thing. All right, so you just carry on like that. Now you can also add, if you wanted to, some paint splatter. I haven't got my desk set up to do that, but you could do that. So what you've got is you've taken this plain old lunch paper bags and you've turned it into this. All right, and now the next thing to do is to finish off the roll. All right, so we're back in a tick, and then I'll show you how I cut it off and use it on a page. Yeah, I'm working on this journal at the moment. It's almost complete, I've just got to sew it in. So what I thought I would do is choose a page out of here and add a little bit of snippet to it. So where did I see? Not that one, let's go with this. Move all this out the way. The other one. Okay, let's have a look. Just love this paper, beautiful. Right. Ah yes, here, because then it will stick out from here. Right, so what you would do is take your snippet roll and you want to cut off as much as you need. So see how if I added that and I cut that off there, so let's do it just above the butterfly. Now what you're getting is an eclectic mix of stuff, and you're going to stick that on the page there. So let me just get my glue stick. Now with this, of course, you could add stitching, you know, you can add some more stickers, anything you want. I'm just giving you a rough idea of what I do. I probably would add some more stitching or something else to it, just to make it a little bit more finished, but yeah, you get the idea. Right to the edge of the page. Now you've got like a belly band under here, so you can stick something in. But when you fold these pages back, it sort of sticks out and gives you another layer. So as you're flicking through, you're coming on here and you see the snippet roll sticking out of the side, and it just adds so much more interest to the page instead of just a blank. So we started off with a blank page like this, and now we've got this. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to share that with you because I just love how that looks, and it's so random. You know, you're not just sort of trying to find pieces of paper and just add them to a flat page. It's got depth. You can add something more under here, like a card or a, what have I got here? Let me just grab this. Look, so you can just add something else underneath, and that whole page just takes on a whole different look. You could put a greeting card, you could put a postcard, anything under here, and it would just look so much better. Alright, so I'm going to finish that journal and then I'll do a flip through of that as well on my channel. Alright, so there you have it, a snippet roll. So I'm going to continue now. You know, I've also got letters, so you could use those. Anything. You could put a message through, or you could add it, once you've added it to your page, like I've done here, then you could stamp something else on here, a word or something like that, once you knew how long the snippet part was that you were going to use. So yeah, all right, let me continue with that, and I'm sure you'll see it in my other projects, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea of what to do. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.